It is June 5th, 2025. Today is patch day. NAEU patch dropped. We're going to run through the patch notes here, see if anything changed from Global Labs, see any additions, subtractions, comments, concerns, questions, and the likes. I'm Guild Daddy D. Daddy D, Mr. D, or just plain D. You can reach out to me on Discord or via comments on YouTube videos, or catch me on Twitch anytime. Here we go. June 5th, table of contents. Let's first look at the events, see if there's anything crazy going on. Log in and daily, stack up your rewards. We'll check that out in an alternate tab. Get festival ready with festival seals. We'll check that. New and returning players, we'll check into that. So, log in and stack up. Radiant Shakadu seals. For those of you who don't know, that maybe lost track of those in your currency manager, the easiest way to make silver passively is just to collect these. You can get things like distortion earrings. I believe Debaracas are on there. You can get a Fury of frigates, etc., etc. Life enhancement help kit. What you want from there is the concentrated. They sell for boo-hoo bucks. Let's see, anything crazy? Nope, Shakadu seals, basically the same stuff. So, cool. No, here's the exchange right here. You can get the Gamba box, see if you can get anywhere from 100 million to 1 billion silver. Tier 8 horses, flowers, a Fury of sailboats, your Crowdula gear, a Fury of frigate, Tungrids, Ethereals, Dawns, Ominous, Disto, Manoses. So here's a great way to catch up with your Manos. Life skilling is one of those things where you just make stupid money, so if, I get it, some of you don't like to life skill, but this would be a great way to just get a free try Manos. The horn for the dragon pet, as well as other things. I'm getting pinged on Discord already, don't know why. So that's going on. The next event is the Get Festival Ready with the Festival Seals, Pearl Shop exclusive items, Ultimate Premium Enhancement Box, Choose Your Premium Outfit Box. Okay, how to get the seals. You defeat monsters gathering or fishing. If you're new to the game, generally how it works is these seals are either going to get a ton of them PvE, a ton of them gathering, or a ton of them fishing. Usually it's one or the other, but technically you can get them for all three. You might get them at a very low rate for 2 out of the 3, so experiment. Also, you're going to get them from logging in. So if you need 100 of them for a premium enhancement box, 70 of them for your premium outfit box, which I highly recommend. Wizard Gosfy is a pet that you can use to enhance any of your pets. It's kind of like a one size fits all. Value packs, Marnie process fuel is always good. That's about it. Okay, next event. New and returning step-by-step leveling with login rewards. So new and returning adventurers. It's going to be easier for you to log in. You get an adventure box, you get an artifact, 50% off Pen Kaposha accessory, 8,000 loyalties, that's going to be huge. You get your Cuckoo Bird and Tri Kaposha accessory, so you're going to basically fast track into catching up with everybody. A deck, Tuvula weapon enhancement kit, and the Hate, which is cool. The Hate is the horse training pet that gives you an addition to mount XP when you're riding horses. All of the cup crafting box is huge. That saves you a lot of grinding. And there you go. Okay, so we'll go back to patch notes here. So that was the events, new additions and improvements, class changes, Dosa, Blade Waltz. Okay, that's going to be quick slotted. Marty rounds affect correctly on the Mayhem, so they just fixed a typo. Deadeye, Canary with Love is their new Abyssal skill. Move the skill's location to the skill window to the Awakening tab. Change the skill so that the falling animation now only appears when used from a higher elevation than before. Improve the ring menu to appear more faster when pressing the apostrophe key in fishing stance. Arena of Solare. This is where we're going to talk about the HP recovery effect is no longer for everybody there. It's only for the character who destroyed the breath. Improve so that the following items can be used even when not in standby mode. So I talked about this in the Global Lab patch notes. It seems like a lot of you, yes you, are hoarders. And a lot of these items that are event items or whatnot that you have hoarding in your inventory, Well, it sounds like Pearl Abyss is saying just sit there and spam them. If you haven't thrown them away, just use them. Get rid of them. You're breaking the servers. Added a permanently usable Marindore's Eversweet raw sugar. Okay, so last patch we got the basically the Manos capturing rope. Now we're getting the Manos sugar. You need to have the Krogdos Sanctuary to have it. So sad face for me. After meeting the prerequisites, accept and complete the quest Krogdos Sanctuary Eversweet Aroma. Remove the following items from the item list available for use with the fairy's continuous care, so you can't put your traces of the festival spring water, or cold dark beer in there anymore. Here's where we talk about the improved boss loot. I actually got quite a few DMs and stuff saying that I didn't seem very excited about this. That is true. Zarka, Nuver, Kranda, and Kudum, whether it's EU or NA, very rarely get a ton of people. So in order to get groups of people to show up, I frankly believe you would have to have them start either dropping Radiant Shakadu Seals, Debarakas up to Pry, or Krons. I mean, Kron bundles at World Bosses would be huge. Everybody would start going again. What I saw on Global Labs last week was not going to do it, but let's see. Not going to do it. So this is basically saying if you do more damage, then you get better loot. So this is Zarka, Nuver, Kranda, Kudum. You cannot obtain Bloodstorm, Nuver, Splithorn, Ragged Wing, or Eye of the Desert by defeating regular Nuva. We knew that. Nuver. You get this rare belongings of an adventurer now. So this is not just a regular one. So this is their ranked up belongings of an adventurer. So you can get that if you're ranked 1 through 50th for damage contribution. And then Quint, Maraka, and Miramok, or often, you can get up to the top 70%. So this is what you get. So you can obtain one of the following accessories at Try or Tat, or a gold bar for 1 billion silver. So we're talking a couple 100 million, maybe. Most people these days have placed their alts at world bosses, so most people this will not apply to. Most people. The people who are still the tryhards and going to world bosses with, an actual gear tune, etc., they may have a chance to make a couple 100 million. In the grand scheme of things, do I think this is going to change the content? Absolutely not. I mean, I think a Tet, Eye of the Runes ring. I mean, I'll log in right now. It's patch day, so I haven't logged in yet. But I think a Tet Eye of the Runes ring is maybe 60 mil, 70 mil. But I will confirm that. Awakened World Boss loot changes, so you can get the Awakened Boss Weapon box, which I believe that's where it gives you the boss weapon up to Tet. Once again, we're not talking about, game-changing amounts of silver here. So I'm logged into the game. Let's see. Accessories. Eye of the Runes ring, just because that's always held a special place in my heart. Okay, so a Tet's at 2 billion, which is surprising. So let's look at some of these other accessories. Ethereal Earring. Now, we all know that you're probably going to get a Forest Renero's ring or a Narc, but Ethereal Earring at Tet is actually 7 bill. Do I think that most people are going to be getting things at Tet? No. So let's look at Tri-Narcs. Just see what, that's probably going to be something that most people get. That's 492 million. If you are in the top 50, then you have the chance to make 400 million. I mean, a Centaur's belt can't be that much. Centaur's belt at Try is 358 million. So I'm going to maintain that most people will probably end up getting 200 to 300 million from this. I mean, I'm looking at the Ring of Crescent Guardian. That's 500 million at Try. So, the top 50 will get rewarded. Everybody else, don't even worry about this content. So if you really want to start, Magnusing over to the world bosses with your mains and smacking them for the chance of getting 1 billion, 2 billion, 7 billion silver, go for it. But I'm pretty much guessing that most people are going to be getting, like, I don't know, cadres or narcs at try, if that. So it's going to be 200 to 300 million for 3% of the player base. So ultimately what that's going to do is that's going to bring the top 10% of players gear-wise to world bosses. The world bosses may start dying very quickly, and those top 5% of those people are going to get richer. Still don't see this as a quality of life change, but change my mind. Wake and World Boss loots change the quantity and drop rates of loot obtainable by defeating Nightmare Zarka, Stormbringer Karanda, Bloodstorm Nuver, and Thundercloud Kudum. So you got a 40% chance and a 30% chance. Once again, these are going to the top 50 damage people. The rest of you, nothing. Boss furniture crafting materials, you get, a lot more if you're in the top 50. After that, meh. Advice of Elks up to a 100 stack. If you're got your alt there, you're not going to see a change. Chilling Fragment. You got your alt there, you're not going to see a change if you just hit it once and go stand in the corner. If you actually fight it the entire time, you will get some of those. If you don't know Chilling Fragments, you get 100 of them. It gives you a free debo. So, I would highly suggest if you're going to the bosses, just attack it the whole dang time. Gold bar, 1000G, that's a billion silver. So you have a chance to get it regardless. So if you're just going to smack it once, you still have a chance to get that. And Awakened World Boss spawn rate adjustment. Decrease the spawn rates of Nightmare, Stormbringer, Thundercloud by approximately 80% and Bloodstorm by 72. So we're going to see a lot more base bosses, which is going to be here, and a lot fewer of the Awakened bosses. So here's the loot table. So if you're in the top 100%, you're going to get gold bars. Yeah. If you're in the top 50, you get quite a bit. So will this change your game style? This is a question for you guys if you're watching this video. Will this lead you to start being more proactive about world bosses? I may be completely wrong. Opinions are like, buttholes. Everybody's got one, right? So, is this something? I don't see this as a change that's going to affect my gameplay. Do I go to world bosses? I go to Zarka. I go to Nuver. I'm usually one of the 5 people there. Sometimes it can be as many as 20. I think in recent memory, the most people I've seen are about 20 people. But just comment on the video or shoot me a DM and let me know, yeah, this will change my game style. You're totally wrong on the world bosses. Remove some of the loot obtainable from defeating Nightmare, Storm, Blood, and Thunder. So you can't get the low Advice of Elks anymore. You can't get the belongings. No more Laverto. That's great. And you can't get any of the 1G and 10G bars. So, I mean, at least you're going to get guaranteed gold bars. Hint, if you have trouble saving money, throw those in a random storage until you have a few billion and it's like a rainy day fund. Mirrormock. Change the obtainable loot from defeating often. No more 30s and 50s. You can get an 80 stack. Increase the chance to obtain 1000G by 2.5 times for players rank 1 to 60 in the damage. So you're going to get gold bars. And you're going to at least get, and so I'm not talking out of turn. I believe the 100G gold bars are 100 million. But let's see here. Let's go talk to the storage keeper, currency exchange. No, that's 10 million. Okay. So the 1000G is 100 million. And so go back up here. That's what everybody's going to get right there, is that 100 million gold bar. The chances of you getting these try-to-tet accessories is slim to none. Everybody's going to get the gold bar. So participation trophy is 100 million. Going back to often, so you get 100 million for just showing up. Or no, excuse me. You get 10 million for just showing up, pretty much. Unless you just smack it once and go stand in the corner, and you have a chance to get 100 million in an 80 stack. Will it change your playstyle? Quint Maraca, you're going to be getting 80 stacks increase, so you're going to get Chilling Fragments. This is decent. If you go to Quint Maraca, you have a chance to get up to 5, and if you're in the top 70%. You also get the 100G gold bar if you're in the top 70%. You can get up to 5 of those. So up to 5 of those. you know, what's that, 50 million? So, don't know if it's really worth going to Quentin Maraca. I know there was a quest a long time ago. Some of you may not have done it, that where you have to kill them. Feels bad for you if you still need to do that. I guess shout out in server, guild, or world chat and ask for help. World boss DP adjustments. So they're giving the world bosses a lot more DP to extend the lifespan, because I guess they're anticipating a lot of people coming and smacking on this with their mains. We shall see. Early Monster Zone XP adjustments. So this is where all of the, where you go on seasons or your brand new tune, you're going to be grinding in like Fadis, Basham, Centaurs, Pilaku, Crescents, Cadres, Sulfur, and Gahaz. So a lot more experience. Cadres is looking like it's top here. Oh, no, actually Centaurs. So lots more XP here. So if you are new to the game and you are grinding, these are the places you want to go based on your AP/DP. Also, keep in mind you can also go on to an AFK Scarecrow overnight and get combat and skill XP. So, quests and knowledge improve so that the quest at Araxia Back to the Society can be started immediately, even if accepted outside the Red Heart. Improve so that after accepting the quest of Gladius, the Battle of Alezra can be initiated through conversation. Increase the time limit to 50 minutes during the final Gladios suggested quest. Improve the appearance and disappearance effects of Yaz, who can be spoken into the Ancient Stone Chamber during Ataraxian. NPC Katya at Okila's Eye can now be found using Find NPC. Node War and Conquest War. We talked about this in Global Lab. They're smoothing out the animations for the Ogre and Troll. They're also making the Troll a little more fast. And they're giving both of them more armor. The Ogre got increased DP by 100%, and the Troll got 150%. And they can both be used by the defending guild during Conquest War Dark Contract. So UI added a sort and filter button to the manage currency. So this is where you would find your Radiant Seals and everything else. For those of you who don't know, when you go to the top right of your screen, to the left of the mini-map, there's a little treasure chest that says Manage Currency. That's where all of your, plump coelacanths and all your random currencies go. Very often people forget about that, and you go in there and you're like, ooh, I could trade this in, this in, this in, and next thing you know, you got 4 billion silver. So remember to keep an eye on that. Added descriptions that appear when hovering the mouse cursor over the content below. Add explanations related to Seabreeze and Okila's Current. So that explains this little white arrow. Let's see. Yeah, this little white arrow here tells you which direction the wind's pushing. And yes, sometimes it turns blue and you have a current, so that's going to tell you what to do. Breath of Okira. Mythical Danae can travel across water using the Breath of Okira. Once the Breath of Okira is depleted, you'll be dismounted and Mythical Danae will wait on the water. So, new stamina bar for the Danae. Added descriptions for moving, locking the chat, party, and platoon widgets. Change the set button and then boss notification window to save to make the buttons function clearer. Okay, so you get boss notifications. I have all mine set to 5 minutes prior. You do you, boo. Change the daily quest display order for the Pit of the Undying so that the higher tier quests are shown first. So, if you have not done this, and you don't know what it is, Quest of the Undying, the Pit of the Undying, is a daily arena quest that gives you the ability to farm crow coins or other rewards. Just look into your managed currency for Pit of the Undying seals. Or you can also use it to get an insignia that goes into your inventory slot where your combat book or your Chengda's Tome of Wisdom goes, and it gives you up to 25% combat XP. And it can go on anybody in your family. So it's good to go through this and get that so you can throw it on your seasonal tunes or any new alts that you want to create while you're grinding, and boom, it's less grindy. Change the font color of the guild employment contract. Interesting. I'm going to have to check that out. I'm going to have to find someone to invite into the guild. Web. Improve the issue where the cookie consent banner would appear for some users when accessing the login screen. The launcher is used in Asia and for Black Desert Global Lab. Okay. Combine the package history menu with the purchase history menu and account information. Okay. Fix the issue where war correspondents without permission to assign guild colors during Node War could not open the UI. Fix the issue where Heir to Decia's titles can be obtained from the story quest for the final Gladios weekly boss. Issue where the node name information will be repeatedly displayed when viewing the transport. Fix the issue where clicking the gathering node again was not displayed its detailed information after canceling CP withdrawal from gathering node. Fix the issue where the lock setting on items placed in Patrigio's apparel bag were unlocked in certain situations. Not was unlocked, were placed. Whatever. Fix the issue where repeatedly entering words containing @ in the chat window caused awkward spacing. Fix the issue where knowledge could not be obtained from certain guild bosses. Fix the issue where quests with a set acceptance period could be displayed outside the designated time. Fix the issue where the NPC would disappear and the quest would not progress in certain situations during Ataraxian. Improve the wording of Orz's Cradle button to be more intuitive when talking to Sol Magia, teleporter in Orz's Garden. Fix the issue where the weekly quest icon was not displayed in Sol Magia and the Red Heart. Fix the issue where the progonal silver bar gain increase effect was not applied when equipping both a pre-owned accessory and the Changa. Fix the issue where it was possible to check the family name of another adventurer on the hardcore server through the Pearl Shop's gift feature. That's sneaky. Fix the issue where Kella's artifact max HP was not listed under obtainable items in Garmos Roaring Bundle. Fix the issue where 2 Orzo's Cradle options appeared when talking to Sol Magia after completing the Orzekia suggested questline. Ranger, fix the issue where the left ear tip appeared slightly discolored when equipped the first Crush hairdo. So these are all outfit changes, game pan changes. Fix the issue where an error occurred when moving right while using the Manage Currency's favorite feature. Fix the issue where NPC Torio would appear after defeating Versailles in Murwalk's Labyrinth. Fix the placement of certain NPCs in the Golden Pig Cave to be more natural. Fix the issue where the camera viewpoint was awkward when talking to the stable keeper on Ilya. New sources for obtaining the currently unobtainable Kron Castle gold coin and Statue of Blind Faith ornament. You can now obtain these items by defeating structure-type monsters placed in Serendia and Balanos. Prove the issue where downloading some replay files from the Arena of Solare replay failed. Ranger, fix the issue where the appearance of underwear was awkward when wearing both the Sylvia armor and Sweet Dreams underwear. Was it like untucked or something? Fix the issue where the appearance was awkward when sitting after wearing the first Crush outfit. Female classes, some appearances were awkward when wearing the Venisal dress. Fix the issue where the appearance of the first Crush hairdo was awkward when setting display quality. And change so that when a War of the Roses participant logs in during the War of Roses on the Odalita server, and the character was in the War of Roses region, they will now be moved to Grana if they are in the Camasylvia faction, or to Odraxia if they're in the Odalita faction. Well, that wraps up this week's NAEU patch notes. Doesn't look like anything's changed. I would really like some feedback on the world bosses. I mean, even if you don't give me feedback, I'll see if you guys are all coming. Other than that, stay tuned for fishing updates, patch updates, how-tos, guides, questions, comments, and concerns. Make sure to like and subscribe, share, and I will see you guys next time.